Hi, and welcome to the second part of this case study, Security Policies and Security Goals. In this section, we'll examine how clear policies and well-defined security goals could have prevented the MedixSys breach and how they create the foundation of trust for SaaS providers in the healthcare sector. So the importance of security policies will serve as the essential framework for safeguarding information. And they dictate guidelines for data access, outline how employees should manage systems, and detail the organization's response to incidents. For SaaS providers like MedixSys, having robust policies in place minimizes risk, ensures adherence to regulations, and fundamentally boosts client confidence. In the absence of clear policies, security tends to be erratic and reactive, leading to potentially disastrous outcomes, as demonstrated by the MedixSys incident. So, let's take a moment to emphasize some vital security policies that every provider should implement. Firstly, establishing rigorous password standards coupled with multi-factor authentication to thwart attackers from easily compromising accounts through stolen credentials. Secondly, role-based access control is crucial, so such as sensitive information as patient records should only be accessible to individuals who require it for their positions. Lastly, a comprehensive incident response plan is essential. This ensures that once a breach is identified, the response is swift, coordinated, and effectively communicated to impacted clients. And all these effective policies should be guided by what is known as the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality involves protecting private data from unauthorized access. Integrity guarantees that data remains accurate and untampered, preserving trust in the records. And availability ensures that systems are reachable whenever clinics and patients need access. These three principles are fundamental to any security strategy. And let's examine the MedixSys case through the lens of the CIA triad. Confidentiality was compromised when sensitive patient records were exposed and encryption keys were inadequately protected. And integrity was called into question due to insecure storage of encryption keys, which allowed for potential data manipulation. Availability suffered as clinics reverted to manual processes, hindering patient care. This illustrates how neglecting the CIA triad can jeopardize every aspect of the business. And to avert future breaches, MedixSys and similar providers must set stronger security objectives. This includes implementing stringent patch management to swiftly address vulnerabilities, and it also involves establishing a security operations center with monitoring capabilities.
Created using Powtoon.
Hi, and welcome to this case study, which will be about MedixSys Solutions, a well-established application service provider based in Singapore, which offers its flagship platform, MediLink 360. This solution provides cloud-based electronic health records to over 40 private clinics and specialty hospitals throughout Southeast Asia. This video aims to delve into the cybersecurity incident that took place in February 2025, examining its root causes and underscoring the vital importance of robust security measures within software-as-a-service environments, particularly in the healthcare sector where the protection of sensitive patient information is paramount. So before analyzing the breach, let's first understand MedixSys' role. An application provider, or ASP, delivers software applications over the internet, also known as software-as-a-service, or also known as SaaS. And SaaS offers major benefits for small and medium-sized enterprises, including lower IT costs, easier updates, and flexible access anytime. High-quality software is crucial for SMEs, helping them compete with larger firms without costly in-house systems. And SaaS gives them secure, reliable, and updated tools at a fraction of the cost. And one key client, the Silvercare Clinic Group in Malaysia, depends on MediLink 360 to manage patient data, billing, and daily operations efficiently. So MediLink 360, and what are its features and importance? It provides essential features for healthcare, secure record management, appointment scheduling, billing, and real-time access to patient information. It also generates digital prescriptions and lab orders, reducing manual work. For clients like Silvercare Clinic, this cloud model has transformed operations but also places responsibilities for data protection on MedixSys. The importance of online delivery is clear. SaaS platforms provide continuous updates, scalability, and 24/7 access, ensuring healthcare services remain uninterrupted. However, in February 2025, MedixSys suffered a major breach. Hackers exploited a zero-day vulnerability and an outdated plugin linked to the web application firewall and gained unauthorized admin access. 17 clinics were affected, with over 55,000 patient records compromised. Although encrypted, doubts quickly arose about the effectiveness of that protection. Attackers discovered that encryption keys were stored on the same server as the data, like leaving the key beside the lock. Without monitoring tools such as SIEM, the breach went undetected for 9 days. In that time, attackers extracted sensitive data leaks, samples on the dark web, and demanded ransom in Bitcoin. The consequences were immediate. 5 major clinic groups cancelled or paused contracts.
Created using Powtoon.
Hi, and welcome to the final part of this case study, which is physical security, encryption, and conclusion. In this section, we will discuss how physical safeguards and encryption practices support cybersecurity, and we will wrap up with the key lessons learned from the MedixSys breach. So in physical security, data centers are the backbone of cloud platforms like Medilink 360. If the physical infrastructure is not secure, even the strongest cybersecurity tools may fail. Strong physical security measures include biometric access controls, CCTV with 24/7 surveillance, and strict employee access policies to critical servers. Other protections such as redundant power, fire suppression systems, and disaster recovery plans ensure services remain running during emergencies. Because MedixSys relied on external providers without strict enforcement of these standards, the physical layer of security may also have been at risk. So why does physical security matter? Physical security is the foundation. If servers themselves are compromised, firewalls, encryptions, and all digital protections are meaningless. The MedixSys breach highlighted that overlooking this layer increases risks and ultimately disrupt healthcare services and erode patient trust. So just some encryption basics. Encryption is one of the strongest defenses for sensitive information. It scrambles data into unreadable code, which can be unlocked with the right key. So MedixSys claimed to encrypt patient records, but the flaw was in key management. Storing encryption keys on the same server as the data was like locking a door, but leaving the key under the mat. This mistake allowed attackers to bypass protection once they accessed the server. And here we have some best practices in encryption. So effective encryption depends on proper key management. Keys should be stored in secure vaults, separate from the data with limited access and separation of duties. Keys must also be rotated regularly to minimize the impact if one is compromised. Had MedixSys implemented these practices, the stolen patient data would have been unreadable and worthless to attackers. So now, leading on to conclusion, the MedixSys breach proves that security must be layered. Weak patching, poor governance, lack of monitoring, and weak encryption practices all combined with vague agreements to create the crisis. The lesson is clear. Organizations must secure both the physical and digital layers, follow encryption best practices, and set strong government policies.
Created using Powtoon.